Virtual reality is no longer some distant futuristic dream. It's here, and it's transforming the way we play games. Imagine stepping inside a fantasy world, interacting with your surroundings, and feeling like you're really there. That's what VR can do. And while we're not fully at the Ready Player One level yet, we're getting closer every day. In this video, we're diving deep into how VR got to where it is today, why it's becoming more affordable and accessible, and how games are getting better and more immersive. Plus, we'll talk about where VR is heading next, and why it's time for you to jump in if you haven't already. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and follow me on socials for more VR content. You don't want to miss out what's coming next. Alright, let's start with a bit of history. Did you know that the first concept of VR dates back to 1960s? Yep. Back then, it wasn't even about gaming. The Sensorama, a device designed to immerse users with visuals, sound, and even smells, was one of the earliest attempts at virtual experiences. In the 1980s and 90s, companies like Sega and Nintendo tried to bring VR into mainstream gaming, but let's just say that didn't go well. Anyone remember the Virtual Boy? It was a bold attempt, but ended up being a commercial flop. The tech just wasn't ready. The headsets were too bulky, expensive, and had poor visuals. Players said they would get headaches after just a few minutes of use. Fast forward to 2012, when the VR world changed with the launch of the Oculus Rift Kickstarter. This was a breakthrough that reignited excitement for VR gaming. Soon, companies like HTC, Sony, and Valve joined the race, releasing devices like the HTC Vive, PlayStation VR, and eventually the Oculus Quest. And suddenly, what used to be clunky prototypes became immersive gaming systems. It's been a long journey, but now we're seeing headsets that are powerful, comfortable, and most importantly, fun. And trust me, things are only getting better from here. One of the biggest challenges for VR in the past was cost. If you wanted to play in virtual reality just a few years ago, you needed a powerful PC, expensive tracking systems, and a pricey headset. The whole setup could cost over $1,000. But the good news is, those days are over. Now there's a VR option for every budget. If you're just starting out, the Meta Quest 2 is one of the most popular options. With no need for a gaming PC or extra equipment, the Quest 2 offers everything you need to dive into VR right out of the box, and often goes on sale for under $300. It's a fantastic way to explore VR without spending a fortune. If you're looking for something more modern but still affordable, the Quest 3S gives you a balance of performance and features. It has the same power as the high-end Quest 3 but at a more budget-friendly price, making it perfect for anyone who wants more from their VR experience without breaking the bank. And for the VR enthusiasts who want the best visuals and most immersive gameplay, there are high-end options like the Meta Quest 3, PlayStation VR 2, and the Valve Index. These headsets cost more, but they deliver next-level experiences that push the boundaries of what's possible in gaming. And the best part? VR hardware keeps getting cheaper, better, and more accessible. It's not just for hardcore gamers anymore. Anyone can try it. Plus, as more companies invest in VR, we're seeing more frequent sales and bundle deals, making it easier than ever to jump in. In the early days, most VR games were more like tech demos, fun to try for a bit, but not really deep experiences. But that's all changed now. Today, VR games are becoming full, fleshed out experiences that can compare with traditional console and PC titles. Developers have figured out how to design games specifically for VR and making them more immersive and engaging than ever. Take Half-Life Alyx for example. It's a game that truly feels like it was made for VR, with deep storytelling, interactive environments, and immersive gameplay. It's not just a VR game, it's a AAA experience. Then you have titles like No Man's Sky VR and Skyrim VR, where you can explore endless worlds and go on epic adventures, fully immersed into the game world. But it's not just about massive open world games. VR also excels at genres you won't find on consoles, like rhythm games in Beat Saber or fitness games like Supernatural. There's even a growing social scene in VR with platforms like VR Chat and Rec Room, where you can hang out with friends, play games, or just explore virtual spaces. As incredible as VR is right now, there is still some work to do. We're not 100% there yet, but we're getting closer. Headsets can still be a bit heavy for long play sessions, and some of the best experiences require a powerful PC. We also need to see some improvements in tracking and haptics to make movements feel even more natural, but the technology is improving fast. With advancements in mixed reality like the Quest 3's depth sensor and color pass-through, we're starting to see headsets that blur the line between the virtual and real worlds. And as companies push for wireless VR with faster processing power, it's only a matter of time before high-end VR becomes completely wireless. No cables, no limitations, just pure immersion. We're not quite at the level of Ready Player One, but if you think about how far VR has come in just the past few years, it's clear that we're on the verge of something huge. At the end of the day, VR offers something that no other game platform can. It puts you inside the game. It lets you see, touch and feel the virtual world around you in ways that just aren't possible with a flat screen. Whether you're exploring distant planets, battling enemies or just hanging out with friends in a virtual space, VR makes everything more personal and real. And as prices drop, games become more polished and technology improves, VR will only grow. It's already changed the way that we play, and soon it might just become the standard for how we experience games. So what do you think? Are you ready to dive into VR? Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned player, now is the perfect time to get involved. The future of gaming is here, and VR is leading the charge. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. And hey, follow me on my other socials for more VR content, tips and news. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the virtual world.